Hi viewers, Namaste. Welcome to the world of Gettrading. This will be a starting video in our fundamental analysis playlist. Opening video will always be an introduction video, right? So, let me introduce the concept of fundamental analysis to you in this video. Introduction to fundamental analysis. First question. What is fundamental analysis? Let's learn it with simple terms. Fundamental analysis is a method of measuring a security's intrinsic value. Intrinsic value is nothing but real value, actual value which should be. How is this intrinsic value measured? By examining related economic and financial factors of the company which we want to analyze. A fundamental analyst should study anything and everything that can affect the value of the company. In fact, any security. Right from macroeconomic factors such as the state of economy and industry conditions to the microeconomic factors like the effectiveness of the company's management, revenues, etc. When I said fundamental analyst, if you are analyzing someone professional, please don't do that. You are an analyst yourself. You just need to enhance few basic skills. Of course, that's the aim of this playlist too. We will give you all the basic knowledge required to do a better fundamental analysis. Later, it's your practice which makes you more confident on anything. Okay, moving on. The end goal of any analyst or an investor is to arrive at a price that he can compare with the security's current price in order to see it whether the security is overvalued or undervalued. If the intrinsic value we get is higher than the current market price, the stock is deemed to be undervalued and a buy recommendation should be considered. If the intrinsic value is lower than the current market price, the stock is considered to be overvalued and a sell recommendation should be considered. Next, are there any types in fundamental analysis? The problem with defining the word fundamentals is that it can cover anything related to the economic well-being of a company. They obviously include numbers like revenue, financial ratios, etc. and also include anything from a company's performance to the quality of its management. So, coming back to our question, are there any types in fundamental analysis? Yes, there are two types. Number 1. Quantitative analysis. The type of analysis which is capable of being measured or expressed in numerical terms. Number 2. Qualitative analysis. The type of analysis which is related to or based on the quality or character of something as opposed to its size or quantity. To make you understand the types better, let us see what are the major things each type considers. First, qualitative fundamentals to consider. 1. The business model should be trustworthy. 2. This is important. Competitive advantage of the company. 3. Management, their professional backgrounds, experience in the industry and so on. 4. Corporate governance. Now, quantitative fundamentals to consider. 1. The income statement. 2. The balance sheet. 3. Statement of cash flows. 4. Financial ratio analysis. I'm sure EPS or PE ratio has popped up to your mind right now. 5. Intrinsic value. 6. Valuation. Each and every topic will be explained video-wise in this playlist. Okay, moving forward, qualitative fundamentals is more of a subjective type in nature. Or it will be true to say that the judgment we get from analysis will be very much subjective. In the case if you are confused between subjective and objective, an objective analysis, for example financial ratios, will be independent of the observer. It can be quantified. These are unbiased analysis and so conclusions will not vary from observer to observer. Whereas subjective analysis cannot be quantified. It depends on uniqueness of the observer. This is a biased type analysis and so with the same inputs, conclusions will vary from observer to observer. To explain the difference in general life example, you will like a movie very much which you saw with your friend, but your friend might not like the movie. Both of you saw the same movie and in the same type, but difference of opinions. One says it's a hit and other says it's a flop. Subjective analysis. But when the movie's collections will be out, both should and must come to the same conclusion whether it's a hit or a flop in terms of collection. There cannot be any biasing as it is purely numbers. Quantitative analysis. I hope you understood. So, To sum up qualitative and quantitative with respect to subjective and objective analysis, quantitative analysis is nothing but calculations of the numbers and so objective in type. Computers can give you results in fraction of seconds. You just need to compare with standards or similar companies' results and conclude. Whereas Qualitative Fundamentals has no numbers and so no calculations. Why? Because it is difficult to capture these inputs in numerical form. This analysis requires the kind of intelligence that the computers lack. Yes, purely human intelligence. We will surely understand why we call this qualitative analysis as subjective by the end of this playlist. Again, both types of fundamental analysis is required to make your analysis near perfect. Each has its own importance, but to avoid confusions, it will be good to start with quantitative analysis first. And so, the next video will be the basic requirement to start quantitative analysis, reading an income statement. So, please be in touch. How? By subscribing to our channel and pressing the bell icon too. Have a happy, safe and profitable trading. Jai Hind.